Hey beauties, today we're doing a full base routine and I'm going to show you how I cover up my hyperpigmentation. This is my flawless base routine and I use this when I want to cover up my acne and hyperpigmentation. It is very easy to achieve, so let's get into it. First, I'm going to go in with a gripping primer like this one from e.l.f. I'm also using in this video tried and true products. These are the makeup products that I know are going to work well for this type of makeup look. And I like a gripping primer because my makeup adheres to it and it lasts all day long. Then I'm going to go in with my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm, and I'm using the universal shade, and I'm just going to put that over the areas where I'm going to be applying the most product. So that's on my cheeks and on the side of my nose where my makeup tends to separate. So I'm really just using this blurring balm powder as a second primer. I love how that applies. And then we're going to go in with an e.l.f. color corrector, and this one is in the shade orange. These cost about $3 each, but they're very effective. I'm taking a small concealer brush, and as you can see, I'm just kind of going over my acne scars a little bit here, and all I'm doing is tapping that color corrector into place. I'm not moving it around. I'm simply adding a little bit from the container on a stiff blending brush. Like, this is a small concealer brush, any little brush that you have, just to keep the product into place, because I don't want to blend it all over because I don't need color correction all over. So I'm just tapping that into place. Then I'm going to go in with a bigger, fluffier brush. This is also a concealer brush, but I'm just going to tap that into place and then slowly start to blend it out just a little bit. But again, keeping it only in the areas where I have a scar or some hyperpigmentation, anything like that. Now, I do work on my hyperpigmentation with my skincare routine. Let me be very clear on that. I use vitamin C, daily SPF, and I do like the topicals faded cream as well. Then I'm going to take my color correction under my eye, whatever's left on the brush. I'm not adding any extra product. So once my color correction is in place, I'm going to go in with a bronzing stick. This is from LYS, and we're going to start the contour. And I just like to contour at my temples and on the side of my cheeks, but we're doing the underpainting technique because I think this is way better for me anyway, to cover up any acne scars, and again, not using as much foundation. Then we're going in with the e.l.f. Liquid Halo Blush. And don't be afraid to go ham with this because you're going to be blending it out anyway. So I'm just putting 2 dots each of each color. And normally that's a lot if I was wearing that on its own, but you know how this goes. We're going to go in with this, and I love these 2 pink shades. Next up, I'm going in with 2 full coverage foundations, one from House Labs and one from Too Faced. I'm going to put the brightest shade in the corner of my eye, and then I'm going to put the House Labs concealer under the outer portion of my eye and also down my nose. I found that contouring and highlighting before you put on foundation, it just saves so much time because you're doing a good portion of the work here. When you're putting your highlight down, you're already covering your blemishes, you're carving out space on your face. But here comes the fun part, y'all. You have to blend for your life. Like, I'm starting off with the darkest products first, which is my contour. As I always say in these videos, I know it looks crazy, but just roll with it. You want to blend one area at a time, but I'm telling you, if your hand doesn't feel sore or your arm is not stiff after you blending your makeup, you probably didn't blend it enough. I'm just saying. The key to this look is to blend, blend, and when you think you're blended enough, blend some more. So let's get into it. Now, I use an angled brush to go over that contour, but now I'm going to go in with a foundation brush. This is a dome brush from Morphe, and I'm going to start blending in the concealer and the blush together. Using a brighter blush shade, it also gives me more color correction under my eye, and you can see how the blush and concealer is just blending together. Trust me, y'all, this technique looks so good once it's done, and it looks like a lot of makeup, but it's really not. But I love how they just blend in together under my eye, and I love how it blends together on my cheek. Once I got used to this technique, I really started to enjoy it and watch how it all comes together. But using a brush like this one from Morphe, like your regular foundation brush, brush. I like that a little bit more because I'm being a little bit more generous with the blending here. I'm not trying to keep it super precise because again, we're going to blend in the foundation and it's all going to come together. But what did I say the major key is here? Say it with me, class. Blending. You have to blend all of these colors together because when it's all said and done, you want it to look like one flawless complexion. You don't want to see color corrector in one area and contour. You want it to blend it all together until it all just looks seamless. Here I just took a small concealer brush just to press in the rest of that concealer that I initially put on, the Too Faced In The House Labs, and I spotted some things that I didn't blend, so we gonna blend some more and we gonna keep blending and keep blending. Now it's time to add the foundation, so I'm gonna use my Maybelline Super Stay, but look how little that I'm using. I'm only using two dots here and two dots here. I'm not putting it on anywhere in my face except for the bottom half where I need the most coverage. And then we're going to use the same brush that we used before and we're just going to tap it into place. Just blend the foundation like you normally would. Don't be afraid to get it on the blush or anything like that because it's all going to mirror together. So I'm just doing what? What's the word of the day? It is blending. You need to blend for your life. So I'm just going to keep blending my foundation in until it's nice and seamless, and I'm just blending it in as normal. But again, you see how little product we needed because we have already done a good portion of the work by doing the contouring, bronzing, blushing, and concealer beforehand. So now I'm going to start adding some dimension back in. So I'm taking a brighter concealer, which is my Tower 28 Swipe Serum Concealer. And because I already have on two full coverage concealers, I'm not going to go ham with this brightener. I took a little bit on the back of my hand and I'm just going to tap that in under my eye, in the corner of my eye, specifically where my dark circles and my hollows tend to show. And this is just going to give me a little bit more brightness. And as you can see, I'm kind of dragging it down to the side of my nose the same way that I did with the Too Faced concealer. And then I'm just going to go ahead and blend that in. And I like to blend mine upward towards my eyebrow because you know when you over 40, you need to give your eyes just a little bit of a lift. So I like to blend mine up. I know it looks crazy, like I always say, but just roll with me. Whatever I have left on my brush, I'm just going to use that as my eyelid and any eyeshadow primer. But just keep blending in that concealer until it looks nice and seamless and I have a nice highlight. Now I'm going to go in with my setting spray. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter. I did all that work and I want to make sure it's all melted into my skin before I add any other product to my face. I'm using a powder puff. It does not have any powder on it, but I'm just using that to press the concealer into place before I add any setting powder under my eyes. And I haven't done that yet for a reason. Then I'm just kind of going back over at the bottom half of my face and blending in the foundation just a little bit more. Now I'm going to go in with my tried and true Makeup by Mario Sculpting Enhancer. Y'all can see that I obviously love this. And I'm just going to go over this, the bronzer and contour that I did a little bit earlier. This is so much lighter in color and texture, so it's not going to add any more bronzing to the face. It's just going to give me a little bit more structure. I really, really love that product. And as you can see, it just gave me a nice carved out cheekbone. Like this product is just chef's kiss. Next, we're going to go in and blend everything together with my Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. I love this. I use it every single time I do my makeup. Y'all already know. I'm just taking a nice fluffy blending brush and I'm putting the powder all around my face, specifically on the perimeter where I have the most product, and I'm just going to dust that all over my face. Lastly, I'm going to add some color back to my cheeks, and I'm using the Danessa Myricks blush in the shade It Girl. I was going to use orange, but then I remembered I used two pink liquid blushes and that would have been a mess. But I'm using a very sheer wash of color here because as you can see, I got my complexion just how I want it. It still looks fresh, but everything is covered and I didn't have to use a ton of foundation. And that's really how I do my base. I did my eyeshadow and my lipstick off camera because we really want to focus on how I color correct and do my base makeup today. And this is what I look like before eyeshadow. Once I added a little bit of eyeshadow and sprayed my face again, this is the final look. But do you see how easy it was to really cover up any acne scars or hyperpigmentation without using tons and tons of product? And your skin still looks like skin. It just looks like a healthy, fresh complexion. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to leave a comment. Bye.